Mark Money from MMAfighting.com here in San Jose with Aaron Pico, who's coming off a huge win over Leandro Higo at Bellator 206. Aaron, coming in, everyone was saying this is a huge test. Obviously, you passed the test. You won by knockout in the first round. How are you feeling right now?
I feel great. I feel really good. It was a good win for my team, but nothing really surprised me. I knew what I was capable of doing. People, just the media always just hypes fights up, but I knew what I was capable of doing, and I watched his fights, and my coach and I, we strategized. We came up with a good game plan, and just stayed relaxed out there. So I'm very happy, but I had a pretty good idea of what was going to happen, and that was that he was going to get knocked out. My coach Antonio McKee said I was going to knock him out with the right hand like 3 weeks ago. So I hurt him with the right hand pretty bad, and that's what led to all the other stuff.
Did you feel like it went on a little bit too long, that the referee could have stopped it way earlier than he did?
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to Leandro Higo because I was hitting him as hard as I possibly can, and those ground shots were no easy little punches. Those were everything that I had, and he was trying his hardest. But when you're getting taking damage like that. But our job as a fighter is don't stop until that ref pulls you off. So I had to do what I had to do, but I have to watch the fight again. But from what I remember in the cage, I was hitting him really, really, really hard with some hard shots that he's gonna probably feel tomorrow morning.
Seems like the media is always, every time you fight, it's like, well, let's see how Pico can do this fight. Let's see what this next step is. Let's see what this next test is. And you're like all along, you're like expecting to excel every step of the way. Why is that exactly?
Yeah, I've competed at the highest level of everything that I did. And when it was boxing, I was at my age group at the highest level. Wrestling, the highest level. MMA is just no different. I'm approaching it how I've always approached it. Nobody trains like me. Nobody has coaches like me. Nobody does a lot of things like me. I do things that are not normal. I take risky fights, but that's just who I am. And if you want to be a legend in the sport, you can't just fight guys that are not on the same level as you. So. Just to be honest with you, I really have a good team. I have a good team, and the most important thing is I have the drive, I have the passion for this sport to be the best, and there's not a day that goes by that I'm not thinking about being a world champion. That's why I said that Patricio Pitbull, his time is coming down. You got a guy like me that is young, is hungry. I wake up every single day knowing that I'm going to get that belt. I'm going to get that belt, and one day I'm going to be in that position. I'm going to be the champion. There's going to be a guy in my position trying to come after me. So. It's just part of the sport.
So Pitbull is in Higo's corner, their teammates, and after the fight, you point to him and say your time is coming. Is that something that you thought about before, or is that just something that just came to your head at the moment?
Nah, it's just passion. I mean, just looking around, like watching him and come with Higo, they tried to, they act like they're, I don't know, maybe it's just the way that I was taking it. They had their little entourage and stuff like that, but I don't have a big entourage. I'm just coming here to fight. I'm coming to knock your head off, and I knew that's what I was gonna do. I looked at his team, and Patricio's no different. His time is coming. There's guys like me. I wake up. I'm gonna have a picture of him on my wall. As long as he's the champion, I'm gonna wake up every single day, look at him and that belt, and say, how am I gonna get there? And if you don't have that mentality in this game, then it's the wrong sport. Especially in this game, you can't fuck around in the sport. I learned that my first fight. So there's that.
Did you guys see them in the hotel at all? I mean, obviously you guys have your team and they have their team and you're in close quarters. Was there anything that stemmed from that or nothing like that?
No, plain and simple, he has what I want, and that's the World Championship belt. For these young guys, if you're not training to be a world champion, then what the hell are you doing it for? So he has what I want, but I stay in my lane. I respect him. I respect Patricio Pitbull. It's not like, oh, screw him, I'm coming to take your head off. I am, but I respect him. I know it's not going to be an easy task. That's why I train the way I do, because I'm going to have to go against Patricio Pitbulls, but he has my utmost respect. He's a legend. He's a legend in Bellator. But like they say, every dog has its day, and I'm coming for him. It's just plain and simple. But the utmost respect for the Brazilians and his team. I know they put a lot of time in, and they're very close. They kind of remind me of my team. We stay in our lane and do what we need to do. But that's just the reality of it. There's always somebody out there willing to take your spot. And right now, that's me trying to get what he has.
How soon do you think that's a possibility? Because, like we had said earlier, the media is kind of taking a wait-and-see approach, and you seem like you're ready to go right now. How soon?
That's just the fighter in me. Of course, I would fight for a world title any day. You said, hey, let's fight tomorrow. Of course, I would fight. But that's just really not my job, to be honest with you. It's above my pay grade, you know. I don't make fights. They say, hey, you want to fight this guy? Absolutely. But I'm still young in the sport. I have a lot to learn. Like I said, you're not going to be a great fighter overnight. It's going to take years and hours and minutes, all kinds of stuff that go into it. So I have some time. I'm still young. I'm 22 years old. I just turned 22, but I'm ready to go whenever. But my job is just to stay in shape, keep improving as a fighter, and the rest will take care of itself. It's just not a matter if it's just when, for me, being a world champion and then defending it. That's my whole goal.
And just last thing, Aaron, so many great fighters have come before you in this sport. The George St. Pierre's, Anderson Silva's, John Jones, Daniel Cormier, Conor McGregor. Do you, not pat on yourself after any one of them, but do you study the game and do you study the guys who have reached that elite level and do you kind of have a blueprint as to what you want to do?
Absolutely. I really like DC. I love Daniel Cormier. For me, my favorite fighter growing up and to this day is GSP. You know, I've always said I've read his book like 4 times. I really like his style. I think he's a very professional guy, and I really like the way he fights. He fights very calm. I wish I can be that calm the way he fights, but it's an ongoing process in this sport. I've only had, what am I, 4-1 now? 5 fights, and I haven't even got past the first round. So I have a lot to work on. But back to your question, yeah, I do. I study. My brother studies a lot. Actually, my brother's really into fighting, and obviously I am, but he's very into studying it and coming up with certain game plans and stuff. So this sport is crazy. You have to do everything to be the best.
And do you see yourself on that level one day where people are talking about you among the GSPs of the world?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm working towards. You know, I'm not there yet, but in the end, I hope to be on that level. Absolutely. If not surpass it, and then when I get to that level, I want there to be a young kid that surpasses me, and then it's just an ongoing effect because it just makes the sport that much better, makes the competition better, and I thank those legends. I think about it often. I thank those legends that have taken those risks and up the bar for us young guys. You know, the GSPs. You know, he upped the bar for me. Well, if I want to get to that level, I got to do what GSP does. I want to be that guy one day. Hey, this is what Pico did. Now I want to get a kid that has the same drive as me. He's like, I want to be better than Pico. And then when he's there, there's another kid that wants to be better. And then I can just be a fan and watch crazy good fighting. So it's cool. I'm having a good time though.
Thanks so much, Aaron. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.